Stop. Place one hand on the center of your chest. Feel its weight. Now, without straining, straighten your spine, allowing your shoulders to fall back just a fraction. That constant low-level feeling of waiting is not passive, it's an active broadcast. You are feeling the echo of a future that is already trying to find you, a life that is contractually obligated to locate you in this vast cosmic sea. You have called this feeling loneliness, impatience, or even a lack of direction, but it's none of those. It is a sense of mission incompletion. It is the ache of knowing a key person is missing from your journey, a counterpart who holds the other half of a map you've been carrying your entire life. In the next few minutes, you are going to understand why this feeling has intensified. You are going to recognize the precise nature of the signal you are broadcasting, and you are going to be given the first key to calibrate it, so that the person who will change your life can finally receive your coordinates. You felt that, didn't you? That subtle shift in your posture, that signal from your own body. What if that sense of waiting you carry, that broadcast you've been unknowingly sending, isn't a problem to be solved? What if that echo of a future trying to find you is just the reflection of an uncalibrated signal you haven't yet learned to consciously direct? Now think with me. What if the frustration of running in place isn't a sign of failure, but a sign of immense potential energy building up? What if the familiar strangers that make your heart skip a beat and the synchronistic numbers that follow you are not random, but are pings from a system trying to get your attention? What if every single one of these moments has been a signal pointing toward a profound, pre-agreed connection that you are meant to activate in this lifetime? It was in seeking answers to this that I recommend to you this digital book called The 11 Arcturian Secrets Behind the Frequency of Success. This book is not just a reading. It is a material created for those who wish to understand the invisible mechanisms that influence results, prosperity, personal fulfillment, and growth. Throughout its pages, you will discover the Arcturian principles of frequency calibration needed to transform how you interpret your own energetic signals. Many people already feel they need to change something in the way they think, act, and direct their choices, but they still haven't made the decision to access this knowledge. Download it right now. It's available in the first pinned comment. But be warned, few copies remain available. You will understand why some souls seem to attract their destined connections effortlessly, while others remain in the silent waiting room, broadcasting on the wrong channel. Don't spend another year feeling like you're waiting for the real show to start. Click now, download your copy, and discover why the connection you've been waiting for may be a single frequency shift away. For now, I want you to hold 3 images in your mind: the weight of your own hand on your chest in a silent room, the fleeting electric flash of a familiar stranger's eyes across a crowded street, and that phantom vibration, that low hum that comes from inside your own bones. The very next time you feel that deep internal pang of waiting, I want you to recognize it as a 3-minute key being turned. Tuck it away in the depth of your awareness. And beyond our digital guide, soul, you have here another way to strengthen this message that arrived for you today, and to make it reach more and more souls like you. We don't receive a single cent for each word I deliver to you every day on this channel. As a way for you to give back something of what you receive here, we also keep a voluntary donation link open right below the digital book in the first pinned comment. Any amount that fits in your hand today, any sum your heart points to. This is what keeps our channel standing. This is what makes the next message reach another soul who needs it, exactly the way you needed it today. I'll see you there, soul. And if you need to leave before the end of this video, know this: there is a resonance bond, a pre-incarnational contract with an access point I've left waiting for you in the first pinned comment. But stay, because the nature of the bond that connects you to this other soul has not yet been revealed. I told you the nature of the bond that connects you to this other soul had not yet been revealed. This is because its nature is not a piece of information to be learned. It is a reality to be recognized. It reveals itself not through grand pronouncements from the sky, but through a series of quiet, persistent, and often confusing signals that your own soul has been sending to your conscious mind for years, perhaps even decades. Let us now, together, hold these signals up to the light. The first is what the Council calls the Miku familiar stranger glitch. You're in a public place, an airport, a grocery store, a busy street. Your eyes lock with a stranger's, and for a split second, a jolt of profound, inexplicable familiarity hits you. It's not attraction, it's a feeling of ancient cellular recognition, so strong it almost makes you stop in your tracks. Then the moment breaks, they are gone into the crowd, and you are left with a strange humming echo in your chest. This is the resonance bond testing the permeability of your energetic field, sending a scout to see if the signal is getting through. The second is a feeling of purpose vertigo. It's that sudden, inexplicable loss of passion for a career or life path that you have meticulously, logically built. You can still perform the tasks, you can still say the right words, but you feel hollow, like an actor playing a role you no longer auditioned for. This isn't burnout. It is your soul's internal compass spinning wildly, indicating that your current trajectory is no longer aligned with the bond's activation path. You feel you are simply killing time until the real work, the real life, begins. The third sign is the one that often brings the most quiet heartache. The frequency gap with loved ones. You are sharing something you're deeply, truly passionate about, a new insight, a strange dream, a crazy idea, with a person you love and trust completely, a partner, a sibling, your best friend, and as you speak, pouring your heart out, you see it in their loving eyes. They are trying, but they absolutely do not get it. They hear your words, but they cannot feel your frequency. You feel a quiet, sinking resignation, and you instinctively edit yourself, pulling your energy back. And regarding that exact moment you just recognized, of seeing a loving incomprehension in another's eyes, there is a single paragraph in the guide waiting for you in the first pinned comment that addresses this with a clarity that will feel like coming home. The fourth sign is synchronistic threading. You encounter the same obscure symbol, a specific phrase, or a number sequence like 444 or 1111 multiple times in a single day, across completely different and unrelated mediums. It's on a license plate, then in a song lyric, then on a receipt. It feels too precise to be random. It feels like a deliberate, coded message from an intelligence that knows you intimately, a thread that you are meant to pull, a breadcrumb trail left by your higher self, leading you back to the bond. The fifth and most intimate sign is the asomatic humming. In moments of deep quiet, especially when you are lying down to sleep or just waking up, you perceive a low-grade internal vibration in your body. It is not anxiety, it is not restlessness. It feels like a machine that has been dormant for a long time is finally powering on. A subtle thrum of energy, often centered in your chest or in the palms of your hands. This is your physical body beginning to resonate with the bond's signature frequency, like a tuning fork being struck by an invisible, cosmic force. If you recognized even 3 of these 5 signs, not as vague ideas, but as lived experiences, then understand this. The Council, the universe, and your own consciousness have already brought you to this exact transmission for a specific reason. This is not an accident. This is an appointment. Your feeling of being on the verge is not a fantasy. It is an accurate perception of your energetic reality. You are standing at a threshold. Type 444. In the system of the Council, 444 represents the laying of a new sacred foundation. Your comment is not an interaction with a platform. It is a location marker in the field, declaring to the universe that your foundation is solid, recognized, and ready for what is to be built upon it. That spiritual fatigue you feel, that sense of broadcasting an uncalibrated signal into the void, has a name. There is a classification for this in the ancestral archives, an ancient term that describes this exact state of being on the precipice of activation while still feeling the echo of the silent waiting room. We will return to that classification because understanding it is a crucial key. For now, just know that your state has been seen and documented before. You're not the first to walk this path. You have been brought here to this exact moment not because you were searching for another video, but because the 5 signals you just recognized have become too loud to ignore. The opening of this hour you are crossing has been seen, and it was seen because between feeling the call and understanding the answer, there exists an interval. An interval that the spiritual adversaries know better than you do, not because the wisdom was denied to you, but because the very next time you feel that deep internal pang of waiting has arrived, and the only thing missing was the calibration key for the signal you are already broadcasting. And I tell you this because I have seen it happen. I have seen the quiet, sinking resignation of being misunderstood by a loved one become the unshakable foundation of self-recognition. I have seen the ache of the familiar stranger turn into the electric certainty of a destined meeting. I have seen the phantom hum in the bones become the unmistakable thrum of an activated soul. This happens because the spiritual fatigue you feel is not random. It is a direct result of an uncalibrated signal being preyed upon by what the Council calls the signal attenuators, who thrive on keeping you in a state of near activation. And you already know this. You just hadn't given it a name yet. Perhaps you felt that deep ache of having done everything right, the spiritual work, the healing, the self-improvement, only for the final, crucial piece of your life's puzzle to remain maddeningly, inexplicably out of reach. Or maybe you know the subtle heartbreak of realizing that even the people who love you most cannot see the full constellation of who you are, forcing you to shrink the vastness of your soul to fit their perception, just to feel connected. And what about the quiet exhaustion from constantly broadcasting your truth on channels that no one seems to be tuned into, leaving you to wonder in the silent hours of the night if your transmitter is broken or if anyone is even listening at all? Now just for a moment, press your thumb gently against your index finger. Feel that specific point of contact. That small, deliberate pressure is a real physical anchor in this present reality. It is a declaration, silent but potent, that you are here, you are present, and you are ready to receive the mechanism of activation. It was exactly in search of this answer that I came to this digital book called The 11 Arcturian Secrets Behind the Frequency of Success. This is not a collection of theories. It is a transmission of applied frequency mechanics, a practical guide to deactivating the external search protocol and calibrating your unique signature frequency from within. There are a few copies available for a limited time at a special price that reflects this moment of collective alignment. Click the link now, secure your copy, and then return to the comments and write "activated." That word, written after you have made the decision, is not for me. It is a seal. And the voice of doubt has no power to stop what the Council, the universe, and your own consciousness have already set in motion for you. Whoever trusts the echo before the voice appears finds the bridge where others only see a void. The digital book waiting for you in the first pinned comment was built upon this exact architecture. It is not about adding more information. It is about providing the precise calibration tools to hear the echo you are already living within. It gives you the understanding to stand on that bridge, to trust its foundation, and to finally walk across. This is not about finding a key. It is about recognizing the key you already are, and learning with simple daily practices how to turn it in the lock of your own life. And the investment for this activation is less than a Thursday lunch where you have to carefully edit your words to feel understood. It's less than a Friday night movie ticket you buy to escape the feeling of waiting for just 2 more hours. It is less than a Saturday coffee with a friend who, despite their profound love for you, simply cannot hear the hum in your chest. This hesitation you might be feeling, it has a name. It is the spiritual fatigue of broadcasting an uncalibrated signal, hoping one of the 100 frequencies you're putting out will finally hit its mark. How many more months this year will you spend broadcasting static? This isn't because the knowledge is worth less. It's because the universe requires you to choose it, and it comes with a 7-day guarantee. If you open it, read it, and it does not serve you, you simply send an email and receive your entire investment back. No questions, no process, no judgment. The risk is ours, not yours, especially when what's at stake is the very next time you feel that pang of waiting. The universe favors the soul who acts in the face of uncertainty, and you are being given the chance to act with no risk at all. You are not the first to arrive at this threshold. A soul, a woman of 38, wrote to me just last Tuesday morning. She said she had spent a decade building a career that felt like a cage, a perfect example of purpose vertigo. She got the book, and on page 47, she said she had to put her device down and just weep, not from sadness, but from the shock of being so perfectly, accurately described. Another soul, a man of 45, bought it at 2 a.m. on a Saturday, haunted by what he called the ghost in the grocery store, the face of a familiar stranger he couldn't forget. He said reading the chapter on the resonance bond felt less like learning something new and more like remembering a sacred oath he had forgotten he'd made. He said the echo in the silent waiting room finally went quiet. A third, just yesterday afternoon, described reading the section on the frequency gap and feeling a lifetime of quiet heartbreak finally dissolve. They said, "I stopped trying to get them to understand me and started understanding my own signal. And your family doesn't notice either, and your children don't notice either." And the echo in the silent waiting room continues to arrive, night after night. And for the next word that is still to come, for the transmissions that will follow this one, there is a way for you to anchor this energy. As I told you earlier, our channel is sustained by the souls who receive from it. Below the link to the book, in the first pinned comment, you will find a voluntary donation link. Every gesture of support, no matter the size, sustains this work and ensures the next message finds the next soul who is waiting, just as you were. Every such gesture sustains our channel, and for that, my gratitude is immense. I'll see you there, again, soul. But stay with me, because I have not yet told you the most important part. There is a word for what happens after the activation. Our term from the ancestral archives that describes the sacred responsibility that comes with broadcasting a clear and sovereign signal. Do not move. You have been working on the level of self-improvement, trying to become worthy of the life you want. You have polished the vessel, learned the lessons, healed the wounds, believing that once you were good enough, the universe would finally deliver the missing person. But the blockage was never on the level of worthiness. It is, and always has been, on the level of recognition. You do not need to become someone new. You need to recognize the energetic contract you have already signed. The key to this recognition is not a piece of esoteric information, but a term that describes a living energetic structure: the resonance bond. This is not a romantic fantasy or a twin flame theory you have heard before. It is a pre-incarnational contract, a sacred agreement your soul made with another before you ever arrived on this plane. It is a mechanism of activation, not a reward for good behavior. In this contract, you chose the role of the anchor. Your primary mission was to come to Earth, embody a physical form and ground a specific, unique frequency of purpose into the planetary grid. The other soul chose the role of the catalyst. Their mission was to remain in a holding pattern, able to physically enter your life only when that specific frequency of purpose was being consciously, stably, and sovereignly broadcasted from you. Their appearance is not the beginning of your story. It is the trigger for a pre-planned geometric acceleration of purpose for both of you. They are not a prize to be won. They are a cosmic consequence of your own activation. And this is why the spiritual adversaries, the signal attenuators, have worked so tirelessly to keep you in a state of seeking. They cannot replicate this bond. They can create false echoes, tantalizing distractions, and relationships that feel almost right. But they cannot fake the unique frequency signature of a genuine resonance bond. They feed on your belief that you have to find the connection. Because as long as you are looking outside of yourself, you are not doing the one thing they truly fear: activating the beacon from within. Think of yourself as a ship that was sent to sea with a secret mission. For years, you have been scanning the vast, empty horizon, looking for another ship that you were told would meet you, the one that held the other half of your map. You have spent your energy on your radar, on your binoculars, on looking out there. But you were never meant to be the searching ship. You were meant to be the lighthouse. Your mission was never to scan the horizon. It was to return to your own center, clean the lens, and light the lamp that only you can light, broadcasting a signal so pure and so true that the correct ship has no choice but to see it and change its course. I want to tell you about a soul. I will call her M, not because it was her name, but because it is the designation we use for a soul who has crossed this specific threshold. M arrived at the exact place you are in right now, a life that looked successful on the outside, but felt inside like a beautifully decorated waiting room. M spent decades searching. She looked for her other half in relationships, for her true calling in a dozen different careers, and for a sense of belonging in spiritual communities across the globe. Each time she would find a temporary fit, only for that same deep ache of absence to return. The world called her restless and unfocused. She secretly felt she was missing a crucial counterpart, a piece of her own soul living in another body. The great shift in her life did not come from a new journey outward, but from a surrender inward. Exhausted, she finally stopped searching. She sat in the silence and for the first time truly listened to the humming she had always dismissed as anxiety. She began to treat this inner vibration not as a symptom of her loneliness, but as a signal from the one she was looking for. She began to cultivate it, to amplify it, to protect it from the doubts of others and the noise of the world. This is when the synchronicities turned from random occurrences into a direct conversation. She didn't find her catalyst. The catalyst was drawn into her orbit, appearing as an unexpected mentor on a small local project M had almost dismissed as unimportant. This person didn't save her. They didn't complete her. They simply looked at her and, with their first words, reflected back the exact secret truth M had been cultivating in silence. They recognized the work she had already done on her own frequency and opened a door that, she realized, had been unlocked the entire time. M understood that the meeting was not the beginning of the journey, but the result of it. It was a cosmic consequence, not a lucky break. She also understood that this meeting was not for her comfort alone, but for a shared mission that now finally could begin. M did not take this wisdom to the grave. She left behind a precise record of the internal shifts, the subtle changes in perception, and the practical frequency work required to move from seeking to broadcasting. And it is this exact wisdom, this map of activation that is held within the digital book you will find waiting for you in the first pinned comment below. The deepest truth, however, is still ahead. This is not a theory. This is a description of your own inner energetic anatomy. The resonance bond is not an idea in your mind. It is a living structure anchored in your very cells, humming with a potential that you are only now beginning to consciously feel. The story of M is not just a story. It is a mirror. Her journey from seeking to broadcasting, from looking out to tuning in, is the very path your soul is inviting you to walk right now. And this path is not walked by your everyday personality alone. Within your consciousness, there are three primary archetypes, three facets of your higher self that are being called into service for this specific mission of activation. You must know them by name. The first is the star-seeded emissary. This is the part of you that holds the core blueprint of your purpose. You feel it when you experience that purpose vertigo, that sense of being a celestial diplomat trapped in a foreign embassy, feeling a cosmic urgency but with no instructions and no one who speaks your native language. Its function is not to act, but to be the mission, to hold the destination coordinates in its very essence. The second archetype is the frequency weaver. This is the inner technician, the master artisan of your energetic signal. You feel it as that somatic humming, that low-grade vibration in your chest and hands. Its function is to meticulously distinguish the pure tone of your soul's frequency from the noise of ancestral trauma, social conditioning, and the static broadcast by the spiritual adversaries. It is the one who cleans the lens of the lighthouse. The third is the contract holder. This is the most ancient part of you, the keeper of sacred agreements. You feel it in that shocking moment of the familiar stranger glitch, that jolt of inexplicable recognition. Its function is to remember the resonance bond. It is the gatekeeper that holds the key and will only grant entry to the one who carries the matching frequency, your catalyst. These three aspects of you are waking up. But the star-seeded emissary without its activation key is a celestial diplomat who remains trapped. The spiritual fatigue you feel is the direct result of this, of unconsciously broadcasting an uncalibrated signal, a mission without instructions. If you wish to give your inner archetypes the tools they need, if you are ready to move from recognition to calibration, then you must understand that subscribing to this channel is more than an action. It is a declaration of your identity as an emissary. And the full instruction manual, the map left behind by souls like M, is the digital book waiting for you in the first pinned comment. Think of where you will be 12 months from now if you finally give your inner weaver the tools to do its work. The very next time you feel that pang of waiting may be the last time you feel it as helplessness, because a profound shift in your understanding is set to occur in the next 72 hours. This entire process, from deactivating the search to broadcasting the sovereign invitation, is not chaotic. It follows a precise 4-stage framework that the Council calls the path of sovereign broadcasting. The first stage is deactivating the external search protocol. The second is calibrating your signature frequency. The third is understanding the catalyst's contract. And the fourth, the culmination of the work, is broadcasting the sovereign invitation. You are already in the first stage simply by being here, simply by recognizing the futility of the search. The recognition of this framework is, in itself, an activation. It is a signal to your own soul that you are ready to move from being a passive passenger to being the conscious driver of your energetic reality. If you feel this truth in your bones, if this framework resonates not as new information, but as a deep, soul-level remembering, then go to the comments now and write one word: activated. This is not for me or for an algorithm. It is a sacred declaration. It is a line drawn in the cosmic sand, a signal to the universe and to yourself that you are no longer waiting for the instructions. You are ready to become them. But before you can fully master these stages, you must first see with clear eyes what has been actively working to keep your signal scrambled. And as I say this, a part of you, the logical, protective part of your mind, is rising up with objections. It is a good and healthy part of you, and it deserves to be heard. It is saying, this is just a beautiful fantasy, a story to make me feel special and less alone. And it's true, it does feel special. But what if this feeling of specialness isn't an invention, but a recognition? The spiritual fatigue you feel comes from constantly fighting to dismiss this data, to push down the profound, intuitive hits and label them as daydreaming, to maintain what the adversaries call the veil of mundanity. It is exhausting to pretend you don't feel what you feel. Then that same voice says, if this is all true, why haven't they found me yet? This just feels like another way to blame me for being unfulfilled or alone. This is a crucial point. Their absence is not a judgment on you. It is a testament to their integrity and their commitment to the contract. The catalyst cannot materialize until your signal is stable, because a premature arrival would shatter the timeline for both of you. Their absence is not proof of your failure. It is proof of their divine patience. The fatigue you feel is the echo of their waiting, a holding pattern that drains you both because the beacon has not yet been lit. And finally, the voice says, this sounds complicated. All this talk of frequencies and calibration, I don't have the time or energy for another complex spiritual project. And here is the deepest misunderstanding. This is not about adding a new complicated practice to your life. It is about stopping the single most energy-draining activity you do every day, the external search. It is about deactivating the radar that is constantly scanning the horizon. Calibrating your frequency is not a complex task. It is an act of profound, energy-saving simplification. It is the work of coming home to the signal you already are. To do this, you must first recognize the 3 primary tactics the spiritual adversaries use to keep your signal scrambled. The first and most common is the voice of doubt. It's the thought that whispers, this is just wishful thinking. Be realistic. You're getting your hopes up for nothing. It sounds exactly like your own rational, pragmatic voice, the one that has protected you from disappointment your whole life. But its true function is to act as an energetic jammer, introducing static at the precise moment your soul's pure tone is about to become clear. The second is causal, the cycle of distraction. You are in a moment of quiet revelation, perhaps even right now listening to this. and a deep truth is about to land. Suddenly you feel an overwhelming urge to check your phone, to clean the kitchen, to reorganize a bookshelf, to do anything other than stay in the silence. It feels productive, responsible even. But it is an emergency eject sequence, a mechanism designed to pull you out of the activation seat just as the launch sequence is initiated. The third, and most insidious, is the isolation of perception. It is the deep, sinking belief that I am the only one who feels this way. There must be something wrong with me. This thought feels legitimate because the people in your immediate circle may not share your perception. But it is a firewall, an energetic partition designed to keep you from realizing that you are one lighthouse in a vast, interconnected network of lighthouses, all beginning to light up at the same time. And against these three tactics, you are not defenseless. There are three simple, powerful weapons you can use immediately. Against the voice of doubt, do not argue. Do not engage it in a mental debate. Simply place your hand on the center of your chest, take 3 slow, deep breaths, and feel for the somatic hum beneath the chatter. The body is the one instrument the voice of doubt cannot play. Its truth is a frequency, not an argument. Against the cycle of distraction, do not fight the urge with force. This only creates more resistance. Instead, calmly acknowledge it. Say to the urge, I see you, I will attend to you in 5 minutes. By giving it a future appointment, you maintain your sovereignty in the present moment. You gently assert that you are the one who decides what happens now, and you choose to remain in the space of revelation. And against the isolation of perception, your weapon is remembrance. Remember the story of M. Remember the thousands of other souls right now who are recognizing the 5 signals in their own lives. Your feeling is not the password to a prison cell of loneliness. It is the key to a vast, hidden community of anchors. You are not alone in this. You are simply early to the rendezvous. When you feel that pang of waiting again, when you find yourself scanning the faces in a crowd for a familiar stranger, when a loved one's loving incomprehension leaves you feeling adrift and unseen, you must understand that the spiritual fatigue you feel is the direct result of an uncalibrated signal. It is the voice that you mistake for your own, the one that says, maybe tomorrow. The full calibration manual, the step-by-step guide to tuning your frequency, is within the pages of the digital book, waiting for you in the first pinned comment. A profound shift in your perception of time, reality, and connection is scheduled to occur for you within the next 72 hours. Do not let the voice of doubt postpone your own activation. To hear this wisdom and not act upon it is not a neutral event. To ignore the call now is not to return to the quiet waiting room as it was before. It is to consciously allow the veil of mundanity to thicken, making it harder to perceive the synchronicities that are guiding you. The somatic hum in your bones will not go silent. It will curdle into a persistent low-grade anxiety, a physical echo of a mission recognized but deferred. This is not a punishment. It is simply the physics of a frequency that has been struck and then muffled by the hand of hesitation. And now I'm going to guide you through the first calibration, step by step. In the next 72 hours, 3 things may happen in your body. Do not be afraid of any of them. They are not signs of illness or malfunction. They are the physical evidence of a successful energetic recalibration, the proof that the signal you just sent was received. The first you may experience is sudden palm heat. You might be holding the steering wheel of your car or a cup of coffee, and suddenly the palms of your hands will become intensely, inexplicably hot. It is not a circulatory issue. It is the energy transmitters in your hands powering on. It is the hands of your inner frequency weaver beginning their work. When it happens, do not pull away. Simply observe it. Place your palms on your thighs and allow the energy to ground itself into your physical body. The second is what the Council calls vivid dreams as calibration. Your dreams may become intensely vivid, logical, and narrative-driven. They will feel less like random subconscious firings and more like training simulations or direct communications. It is not just stress or something you ate. It is your consciousness being taken to the astral classroom to integrate these new frequencies in a safe, non-physical environment. Keep a notebook by your bed. Upon waking, write down the core feelings and messages, not just the plot. The third is spontaneous truth-telling. You will find yourself in a conversation where you would normally self-edit, where you would shrink to make another comfortable, and a clear, calm, undeniable truth will emerge from your mouth before your personality can stop it. It will not be aggressive, it will simply be authentic. This is not a social blunder. It is the voice of your star-seeded emissary overriding the old programming. Do not apologize for it. Do not retract it. Simply witness the space it creates, the new reality it demands. If this transmission is resonating, press the like button now. This action is not for the algorithm. It is an act of service. By doing so, you brighten your node in the collective grid of anchors, making it easier for other lighthouses to see you, and for the entire network of awakening souls to stabilize and strengthen. And now, prepare yourself. Find a comfortable seated position, your spine straight but not rigid. Let your hands rest gently on your knees, palms facing upward in a state of reception. Close your eyes and take one deep cleansing breath in and let it go. Visualize a golden cord of light extending from the base of your spine, moving down through the floor, deep into the crystalline core of the earth. Feel it anchor there, securely. Now, feel the steady, grounding pulse of the planet's own heartbeat, the 783 Hz Schumann resonance, rising up that cord and filling your body with a profound sense of safety and stability. You are anchored, you are safe, you are held. Bring your awareness now to your solar plexus, the center of your personal will. See a warm amber orb of light spinning gently there, dissolving any lingering knots of fear or self-doubt. Allow that warmth to rise into your heart center, where it blossoms into a radiant emerald green light. Feel the two centers harmonize, connecting your power to your compassion. This is the biophotonic bridge, now repaired and activated. Let this unified energy ascend to your throat, clearing the path for your truth. Then guide it to the very center of your head, to your pineal gland. Feel a gentle piezoelectric pressure there, as if a sacred crystal is being activated by light. The photoreceptors in your pineal are now opening, not just to light from the outside world, but to the brilliant light from within. This light travels down the great vagus nerve, a fiber optic cable of the soul, informing every cell in your body that a new sovereign reality has been authorized. The energy now pools at the crown of your head, opening like a 1,000-petaled lotus to the cosmos. You are a beacon, receiving and broadcasting in perfect harmony. Now bring your thumb and index finger together, pressing them gently. Hold for 3 seconds, and take a slow breath in for a count of 4. Hold for 2, and exhale for a count of 6. You have just sealed the calibration. Slowly, gently bring your awareness back to the room, back to the weight of your body in the chair, back to the feeling of the air on your skin. Nothing has been added to you. What was dormant has simply been remembered. When you are ready, and only when you are ready, you may open your eyes. From this calibrated space, together, we release. We release the ancient fear of seeming strange or different to those who are still tuned to the old frequency. We release the deep, persistent ache of waiting for a life that we mistakenly thought was outside of us. We release the quiet heartbreak of being profoundly misunderstood, and we stop seeking validation where the frequency simply cannot match. And we release, once and for all, the insidious illusion that we are alone in this feeling, a solitary lighthouse in a vast, dark sea. We let it all go now, and into this cleared space, we call forth what is true. The star-seeded emissary. You are this. The name was not given. It was recognized. And now it is installed in your field as a permanent signal. The frequency weaver. You are this. The name was not given. It was recognized. And now it is installed in your field as a permanent signal. The contract holder. You are this. The name was not given. It was recognized. And now it is installed in your field as a permanent signal. These 3 archetypes, now fully activated within you, have their own divine agenda. And the first item on that agenda is to make you see. And now we seal this calibrated field. We place a shield of sovereign light around your entire energy body, a membrane that is permeable only to the frequencies of your own soul's choosing. This is not a wall to keep the world out. It is a filter to ensure that only what is resonant with your mission can come in. Your energy is no longer an open broadcast for any passing signal to latch onto. It is now a private, encrypted channel. With this shield in place, we protect the newly calibrated frequency. We wrap it in a layer of divine indifference to the opinions, doubts, and projections of those not yet ready to hear it. Your signal is now protected from being diluted by old environments, old conversations, and old relationships that require you to shrink. You are no longer required to dim your light to make others comfortable. Your primary responsibility is now to the beacon. And we sustain this new state by connecting it to the larger grid. We plug your light, your beacon, into the vast, interconnected network of every other anchor who is awakening on this planet right now. Feel your light joining theirs, creating a web of resonance so strong, so stable, that it becomes the new foundational frequency of this reality. You are not holding this light alone. You are a crucial node in a planetary nervous system of awakening. We break the voice of doubt before it arrives. Its static cannot penetrate a field that resonates with the body's truth. We dissolve the cycle of distraction before it materializes. Its urgency finds no purchase in a mind that has chosen presence. We dismantle the isolation of perception before it can close in. Its illusion shatters against the felt reality of the collective grid we have just activated. We, who have felt the ache of waiting as a sign of incompletion, now recognize it as the hum of a future drawing near. We see that our mission was never lost, only awaiting our own activation. We, who have seen the flash of a familiar stranger's eyes, now understand it was not a glitch, but our own contract holder testing the connection. We who have felt the spinning of purpose vertigo now know it was not confusion, but our star-seeded emissary demanding a course correction. The restlessness, the sense of running in place, was never a sign of our failure. It was the collective static of thousands of lighthouses, all warming up at once, their signals interfering before finding harmony. Now, we feel that static resolve into a single coherent chord. The energy of seeking has been fully recalled, and it is now being repurposed for broadcasting. The great cycle of searching for the one who would complete us is now declared closed. It has ended. The new cycle, the cycle of sovereignly broadcasting the frequency that summons our contracted counterpart, has now begun. We are no longer waiting for a ship to find us. We are the lighthouses, and we have just turned on our lamps in unison. Whoever trusts the echo before the voice appears finds the bridge where others only see a void. We now stand together on that bridge, not in hope, but in recognition. This activation is sealed. This collective is real. This new reality is authorized. My own hands are warm as I say this to you. My own breath has deepened, shifting in rhythm with the field we have just built together. This is not a performance for me. I am in this transmission with you, and it moves through me as it moves through you. And in this shared space, something has been seen. Your courage to stay, to breathe, to allow this calibration. It did not go unnoticed. The part of you that has felt unseen its entire life, the part that has hidden its light for fear of being too much. It was seen today. Something was seen, something was recognized. The beacon is lit. The beacon is lit. The beacon is all lit up. Do not say activated yet. Stay in this for a moment. Feel the hum of your own light, now clear and amplified. Feel the quiet power of the collective grid at your back. Now you can say activated. Now, breathe. The signal is yours. And as you sit in the resonance of that truth, place your hand on your heart once more. The collective declaration we just made was not an ending. It was an authorization. And the voice of doubt, the one that says, "This feeling won't last," is already beginning to whisper. It wants you to believe this calibration is temporary, that you will fall back into the old static. This is the moment where you must anchor the new frequency, not just with intention, but with a physical act of commitment. That is why I must speak again of the digital book, the 11 Arcturian secrets behind the frequency of success. It is the instruction manual for what comes next. It is the guide that your newly activated frequency weaver will use to keep your signal clear and sovereign, day after day. The price for this manual is less than a snack you buy without even tasting, because your mind is trying to solve the puzzle of your own life. It is less than a coffee and a pastry you purchase while scrolling on your phone, searching for an answer that isn't on the screen. And you are protected by a 7-day guarantee. You can go through the entire material, and if it does not serve to stabilize and clarify the very frequency we have just activated, you receive your investment back in full. The risk is ours, the hand is yours, but the voice of the spiritual adversary is subtle. It will not scream, "Don't do it." It will whisper, "You can do this later, the link will still be there tomorrow." It will say, "You should save that money just in case." It will say, "You've had a breakthrough already, you don't need anything else." And you will believe it is your own voice of reason. But it is the echo of the veil of mundanity, trying to reform around you. And now, the final word, the one waiting in the first pinned comment. In our next transmission, we will speak of the first contact protocol, the energetic etiquette and the practical steps for when your resonance catalyst, drawn by your clear signal, finally appears in your physical reality. What to say, what not to say, and how to confirm the bond without frightening the connection away. But before I seal this hour, know this: the Council, the universe, and your own consciousness made sure this video found you today, because this activation was scheduled for your soul's journey. It was not an accident. There is one last way to honor this appointment. In the first pinned comment, you will find our voluntary donation link. Every single gesture of support, no matter the size, is what keeps this channel alive and broadcasting. It is not your favor, it is your service. And heaven sees. This was my last request. I will see you there, soul. You are now a conscious node in the grid of awakening anchors. You belong to a field of souls who are undertaking this same sacred work. Feel this belonging. It is your shield and your strength. Now, think of the one person in your life who you know feels this same quiet, persistent ache of waiting, the one you have never been able to fully explain it to. Share this transmission with them. This is how the grid expands. The guide that M left behind, the 11 Arcturian secrets, is waiting for them too in the first pinned comment. It is not your favor, it is your service, and heaven sees. And you must know how to navigate that first delicate meeting. The silence now is also part of the transmission.